I know, right?
Okay, we are on the face and the book. Hold on, let me get on IG. We are live, y'all. Kinky Roots Evolve with Teals and Tawana Cherry. Hold on.
Our special guest, Miss
Yes, y'all.
Cherry.
Happy to be
There
here.
we go. Okay, we are officially on IG as well. Let's get it. Let's get it.
All right.
All right. Okay. Welcome, y'all, to the KRE platform with me, y'all's girl, and my girl Teals. This is Kinky Roots Evolve, where we dig real deep into the roots. We've been going back to the burn right here lately.
All
And
the
we are
way.
real deep, all the way, all the way. We've been blessed to have the beautiful Tawana Cherry with us tonight, y'all.
Hey, y'all. Hey.
Girl, come on.
Hold on. I'm clapping one hand.
I'm so freaking excited, y'all. Okay, so I'm gonna let Tila take it away with the intro. Let's get it.
Yes, yes, yes. I thought you was doing that. Um.
We so
All
excited,
right.
y'all. We just laughing.
No, for real. So we have Tawana Cherry here. Tawana is from New Bern, of course. What, Trent Court, Pembroke, all the sets.
Yeah, pretty much all the sets. I started off in Trent Court though, 18, where my grandma rolled at.
Okay, okay,
Let's get it.
absolutely, absolutely. So what we're coming in here today with is we're looking at Tawana sent us her bio, and with her bio, it was just so much to pull from. Like it was just like, oh, all of this was good. How do we take this and just bring it into a fierce opening to introduce Miss Tawana Cherry herself? We're looking at growth, renewal, beauty, right? So we look at this
Yes.
like, oh, we're gonna do the cherry blossom effect. What y'all think? What they do? What is it? Is this right here, T? Okay, okay, okay. So, without further ado, we're gonna have Miss Tawana take it away, share a little bit about herself. Dante and I will probably plug in, ask some questions from here and there. But yes, talk to us, talk to the audience, tell them what you're made of, tell them where you come from, honey.
Ooh, all
I
right.
can't stop cheesing. I'm like, just cheesing on.
All right. Well,
I might be waking up a little bit. Them fumes.
I'm Tawana Cherry. At my core, most people always come back home. Everybody calls me Tawana. But then when I transitioned here to Greensboro, everybody knows me by Carrie. Um, Kind of because I started off in the teaching field. But let's see, I'm a mom to an amazing 15-year-old boy. Everybody knows I brag about my baby. And I've been a social worker for like 20 years now. And I'm transitioning into a therapist now. And I'm on this newfound journey of becoming the best version of who I want to be right now. So, when my
Okay.
healing
All right. So, I mean, nothing wrong with any of that. We're here for all the deets. Um, so you said that, okay, so you have a 15-year-old son. Now, is he a product of New Bern or Greensboro?
Nas is a beautiful product of Greensboro.
Oh man, the 336. You had to switch it up on us.
You're a little bit of a
Don't even
country boy in his heart, because I still make sure I take
yeah.
him back home. You gotta touch the dirt in the country a little
Right,
bit.
right,
Yes, ma'am. Get to them
right,
roots.
I'm a little city
right.
boy, but I still make sure that I keep them grounded and keep them close to the coast, the New Bern, the country.
Absolutely. And it's so funny how we say the coast, but it's so country. Like we literally are on the coast, but it is so country there. Like you can hear some of us talking like, dog, y'all gotta drag. You know what I mean? Like we'll
Mm-hmm.
drag it out. But so I want you to kind of enlighten us. So with this journey, you mentioned in your bio that the most beautiful part of your journey is being a mother. Elaborate for us, like bring us, put us in a car with you.
Okay. Well, that's where I steal all my moments with my kids. So yes,
Yes.
you're trying to touch base with your kid, trap them in the car with a car ride, even if it's just to the corner store or wherever. Trap them in the car because now they don't have no place to go and they have no choice but to talk. or you could just vibe out. But the best thing about it is, yes, Nas is my everything. Like Nas is the reason why I wanted to become a better version of myself, and just
I
realizing
like that.
how I was walking before as a mother, and I was giving myself to pretty much a lot of people, everyone. It kind of made me realize I need to take a step back because I was kind of running on empty, to where I was pouring into not just motherhood, but I was pouring into friendships and other relationships and into work.
It kind
And I
of made me
realized I was
realize
getting
I need to
burnt
take a
out.
step back because
And so once
Mm.
I realized I was burning out, I was like, you know what? Get focused. Focus on yourself, focus on your son. And I'm in a much happier and peaceful place. Really.
I
Wow.
mean, they say parenting is like it's a taxing job, but it's very rewarding.
Yes.
So I'm happy that you took those steps, right? Because how do you take a mini version of yourself and then like you're trying to parent yourself within the child, right? And then but then it's just kind of like trying to teach them right when we doing wrong.
Girl. Now that right there, you said a
That's
word.
that's really hard.
That's hard. Is like really realizing within my walk, like where I was
Mhm.
walking wrong, and where
Mhm.
I thought that, this is normal, like,
Right.
um, this is how parents, are supposed to parent. You're supposed to kind of be a little more strict, a little more, I was thinking kind of controlling a little bit, like you have to do this and do it that way. But I also had to realize that like my approach to parenting, it wasn't it wasn't for my child. And I think
Mm.
the biggest lesson that I had to learn was that may have been the right parenting that worked for me during my time, but in this given time and day, that wasn't the right parenting style that I needed to be when it came to my son. And so ultimately, it made me take a step back. And
Right.
the biggest thing about it was I felt like the rug was swept from underneath me when I lost my dad. Like my dad was
Oh,
a rock. Like,
yeah.
and it's been 5 years, but when I lost him, I
Mhm.
crumbled. I crumbled and became a totally different version of myself that I didn't really like. I really
Oh,
went down like this grief, dark spiral.
yeah.
And once I
Yeah.
realized how it was affecting me and how I showed up as a mom and how I showed up
Mhm.
as a friend, as I showed up as a social worker, I
Mhm.
knew after a while, this is draining. I don't like
Mhm.
this energy. I don't like this dark space. Let me get back to the light. Let me get back to feeling like not necessarily my old self, but let me
Mhm.
improve upon what I have. And so it really came to
Right.
times where I was like, okay, you understand your dark side, as people say, your shadow, and you understand your light. So now let's create that balance and blend them both together. And that's where I'm at now, in a
Oh,
happier space.
nice. That
Wow,
sounds so rejuvenating.
wow. So the good gracious, you said so much. I don't even know which piece to really talk about. But when you were like understanding the dark side and then embracing it. Oh
Yeah,
my gosh.
yeah.
So many people run from the dark side. A lot of people never embrace the dark side. They run from it. So can you like highlight that a little bit? Like what exactly did understanding the darkest area of your life and then embracing it and then like pretty much taking it with you along on your journey, like what the heck, like what does that look like, what does that feel like?
It was really realizing that it was that self-awareness piece, like how I was
Mm,
showing up, because I had got so caught up in my grief from losing my dad that I didn't realize how I had stopped showing up in my optimistic, positive way. And I kind of went into
Mm.
like this, as some people say, you kind of go through this dark shadow space, to where I was more in tune with just being depressed, laying in the bed, not really motivated, wanting to go anywhere, not really wanting to show up in ways that I was showing up before. I realized
Mhm.
I was being inconsistent with how I was showing up in my friendships. I was
mm,
once a dependable friend, but at one point I had stopped being that dependable friend because I
Mhm.
was avoiding any type of interaction. I was running from my emotions. because I had just suppressed it and just sat in my grief.
Mm-hmm.
And once I kind of realized you're not showing up the way that you have, and you can do better. You need to try to do better. And so it was me really realizing that I was showing up like really a Debbie Downer sometimes. And I think some people don't realize it. You know, it can be like that passive aggressive energy that people can have.
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
I said that avoidant spirit where like people reach out and I'm like, I'm not reaching out back to
Yeah.
them. I don't feel like
Yeah.
it. You know,
Yeah.
it was kind of realizing like it's okay to go through those moments, but after some time, it drains you. It kind of makes you not be the best version of yourself. And that energy in itself kind of was draining. And I saw
Mm-hmm.
also the effects that it had on my son. You know, he
Mm-hmm.
kind of started following that same path, kind of being a little bit thin on
Mm.
energy,
Mm-hmm.
a little bit low, not wanting to be out. And I was like, ooh, this is not how I want to show up, especially as
Mm-hmm.
I'm a single mom. So
Yeah.
I truly am grateful that eventually I kind of saw it and really
Mm-hmm.
truly going back to school to be a therapist. That's what made me come out of it. And my dad was the only person that I had told about me going back to school to become a therapist.
Oh.
Yeah.
And 2 days after my dad passed, I was accepted into Chapel Hill into the Masters of Social
You
Work program.
better work, Tar Heel.
Yeah. So
You better work.
I thank so much for my dad and losing him
Mm-hmm.
because losing my
It
dad
pushed
made
you.
me realize where I was at in a dark space, and then
Mm-hmm.
it pushed me to be more enlightened and come back out. And that's where I came to understand like we have a dark side, we have a shadow side. Everyone has one, and it's learning
Mm-hmm.
to accept that within yourself and knowing how to balance it and using your
Mm-hmm.
discernment really. Yeah.
So I have a question.
Wow. Real quick before we hop on, Coco said, "Hey, Coquila's on." She said, "Hey," and she
Hey,
love us.
Coquila. Love you
Hey,
too, boo.
Coco.
So you talked. So first of all, I just want to say you're very optimistic. Definitely have glass full personality. Um, I think when you talked about when did you feel were you in that shadow place or that shadow era prior to your dad passing? Was your dad passing unexpected or it was? And so because of the unexpectedness, is that where you feel like the spiral, like there were so many, like, like, well, what if we could have done something better, like, so you crashed out essentially.
Oh yes, girl. Yeah, I hit
Okay.
rock bottom.
Okay. So I ask these questions because I'm the optimistic one too, in a lot of my relationships. But I also want to just give you the benefit of the doubt in the space of giving yourself grace. Um the shadow that you were going through, I don't think it was a shadow of defeat or a shadow of um like negativity. I think
Mhm.
you were hurting, love.
Yep.
I
Grief.
think you were just hurting, and there's no book on it.
Mm,
Everybody processes this so differently, and there's no guide.
mm,
And the
mm,
biggest thing I could say about it is just talk through it. Like, granted, you've overcome that, but I think for me, just as just hearing you and your aura. Like, I remember when Donzie reached out to me and she's like, "Hey, what do you think about Tawana?" And I was like, she's a positive person. Like, the time that I've interacted with her, she had nothing but great things to say. Like, I didn't, you know what I mean? But so, and then to hear you say that you went into this space and then it was like, well, this is not me. I think for me, just understanding you, it wasn't you, but it was.
mhm.
It wasn't a space that you are allowed to go there.
Right.
You are allowed to, ask questions because like that's what we do, right?
Mhm.
I think the biggest thing is waddling in it.
Oh
Yeah.
You
yeah.
know what I'm
So
saying? I think that's the biggest thing.
I
Yeah.
want to say this real quick. So Shalita is on and she says, "Hey," and she loves us, but she is really going deep into the shadow work as well. She's talking about how she faced that, and it's no joke. Her comments here, I try to make sure they displayed on the
Hmm.
screen. So Shalita is saying as well, you know, that shadow work, that thing is real.
It's tough.
Mm-hmm.
And it's facing your own trauma.
It
Yeah.
is.
Which wow. I mean, it's deep.
Yeah.
I
It's
mean,
And
I'm
facing
just like,
so
wow. I'm
so
learning
for
so
me, I
much.
think I think what I'm trying to say is walk the walk,
oh yeah,
right?
and
Because
walking
in the
proud.
space of right,
So
right, but it's like you gotta when you have trauma and you want to heal from this, you gotta go back and
Hmm.
you gotta relive it, and you but you know what's on the other side. You know what I'm saying? So the
Hmm.
trauma of losing, and I know I can relate to this. I lost my dad unexpectedly. Shalita lost her father.
Yeah,
Like I we get it. You know what I'm
and
saying?
I wanna put
Um,
this out here. I'm sorry, Tila, to keep cutting off, but, Kokila said she's going through grief right now, y'all. So she's experiencing this thing that we're talking about right now, and she's opening up,
it's a
saying it's
yeah,
very
really
and
heavy. There's no comparison. So I just wanna just send condolences to everybody right now
absolutely,
who
yeah.
is going through this,
absolutely,
you know, and thank you so much for opening up, you know, on the platform. Hey,
yeah,
this is a
yeah.
sisterhood.
But
Yo, we
and
in
this
this
is
together.
and with this, I encourage us all. You know,
Mm.
oh man, Kokila, because you
Oh,
grew up with
I'm
your
sorry,
grandma.
baby.
sorry.
I'm
Oh
so
my
sorry.
god.
Sorry,
Woo, man,
baby.
like
Mm.
walk
It's
it.
rough.
We have
Yeah.
we have these emotions for a reason. Experience these emotions because when it comes to our little ones and they're trying to figure out what this emotion is, like right now, Caden's 8. Everything is from happy to crying. There's
Oh.
no in between. And I'm having to nickname these emotions for him. Like right now, you're frustrated. It's not cry worthy. You're mad. I
Mhm.
want that. Ugh, I want that. Right? Let's
Right.
name it. We're
Let
not
it
just going
out
to cry. We
and name
can't.
it.
Exactly. So I want you, like in this space, give yourself the grace to grieve.
Yeah.
How
Mm.
we grieve is going to be differently,
Different.
but
Yes.
acknowledge it, you know what I'm
Yep.
saying? And
Yep.
don't
The
like when
biggest
you say
thing.
like, oh yeah, that shadow work, I don't want you to look at that as negativity. I want you to look
Mm-mm.
at that as growth.
That's what it
Right.
is.
And definitely one more thing too, like don't put a timeline on it.
You can't.
I
Absolutely
hate when
not.
people do that. People try to put a
Absolutely
timeline on
not.
grief. You can't do that, yo. You cannot
No,
do
It
that.
comes
You
in
cannot put a
waves.
timeline on
it
it.
does. And
It
Don't
comes
do it.
in
it'd
waves.
be the smallest thing that'll trigger you.
Yep.
Yep.
The
Yep.
smallest thing.
Yep. It comes in
Yep.
waves. And I love the fact that, like you said, it's also about learning how to develop a sisterhood. Because
Hmm.
Mm.
in that, I didn't know how to develop.
Right.
Um,
Because you
Mm.
wasn't being a Debbie Downer. You weren't
you
being
know,
because it had we been connected, I would have told you embrace the emotion, boo.
yeah.
Feel it.
Hmm.
Be negative. That's how you're letting out your passion, your feelings.
Yep.
Be negative. You know what I'm saying? I'm not gonna let you stay in that pot, but
Right.
go through it. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying?
And it was
And
just
so
one of the things
Why?
just
Hold on, y'all. Y'all, I love y'all. Why Dia? Why Dia's up here, y'all? We
hey
gotta make sure we say hey to why Dia. Hey, boo.
well, our crazy self.
Yo, we love you. Oh my gosh, this is so good, y'all. I'm loving this vibe.
Very
Okay, go
much.
ahead. I just wanted to make sure I acknowledge when people hop on. I'm sorry. Go ahead. This
No,
is good.
it's
Go ahead.
okay. It's completely fine. But yeah, so like I think for me, like it hurt me to hear you say that you was becoming a Debbie Downer, and all I could hear was you wasn't a Debbie Downer. You was going through grief. That hurt
Mhm.
me. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? Like,
That's so
and
true.
I'm so sad that you didn't have the connections, but now you do.
oh
You
yeah.
didn't have the connections for someone to say it's okay, baby. You just lost your daddy. You
Yep.
know,
Hmm.
like you cannot like
Yep.
just you can't discredit yourself and these
Mhm.
emotions. Again, we have them for a reason,
We're
right?
human. We're
Very
human.
much, very
Yeah.
much. And so I know that you're going through therapy and things like that. But again, from me to you, I don't want that label for you.
Oh girl, no. No. It was one of those things as people describe it, like when I lost my dad, it was that breakdown that I
Oh.
had. I crashed out, but then it was the as people call it, the dark night of the soul. Like it was that
Hmm.
awakening, making me realize it's painful to lose my dad, but I also realized I had to lose my dad for me to learn how to process some of those emotions, to fully show up in a different way. And it just made me a better person, in all honesty, because
Yeah.
it made me realize that it's okay to be human, and it's okay to understand that you go through trauma, you go through grief.
Mhm.
Life
Mhm.
is gonna life, definitely life is.
Yes.
And
Yes.
and now that I'm able to kind of bring forth my light and shine it onto other people, I love that I'm able to kind of be able to share with people. I know what it's like to go into that dark side, to be in that dark space, and sit
Mhm.
grief or whatever it is, and then process all those emotions, and then I'm able to
Awesome.
kind of just be able to be pull them in and say, hey, I'm human too. I can relate to you.
Mhm.
But I
Mhm.
also know that I know what it's like to not have that safe space to be open to speak. So
Mm.
now I
Oh
know that
man.
I love that I'm able to give that to people, to give them that freedom, to not let them feel judged and let them process their emotions, because that's something that, I had to do, and I did it on my own. I did
Mhm.
it alone, and that was something new to me too. Was like, oh my god, I'm doing this alone, and learning how to shed some of those layers,
Mm.
some of those hats, because before my dad passed, like, I was his caregiver. I was going, like, I
Mhm.
was traveling to New Bern like every other weekend to take care of my dad
Mhm.
before he passed. And so that took a turmoil on me. And so, really, truly, I'm grateful for my dad, but I'm also grateful for the enlightenment it brought to me, because it made me learn to take off all those different hats, girl. Take off the
Your
nurturer,
light is so much brighter.
giver. I took off all those hats and was like, who
Yeah.
do I want to show up as now, and move
Mhm.
forward in that space,
Mhm.
and not so much focus on the past. Let the past be, let that show that there's growth, that you can change, and that you can maneuver whenever you want to. And then, like you said, just being receptive and being okay with, if I have a moment where I'm dealing with grief, I know now how to give myself the tools. I know who
Mhm.
I can reach out to, who I can call. And now that I've done given myself those kind of tools, and kind of just that recognition and that understanding.
Mhm. Girl, all I hear right now is shine bright like a
Like a
diamond.
diamond. Yes. Yo, so let me see.
Loving
Okay,
it.
so we got so many good comments coming in. Kokila just sent one: empathy. Now I know the true weight of condolences. It's a phrase we may use and not know how powerful
Yeah,
we
It's such
are.
an absent phrase.
Yeah.
it is.
Yeah.
It's very
It really
absent.
is. But
Like
like
it's just
she's saying now she really knows the weight of it.
what do you
She
when you how do you what is it called? A memory response? You just you said out of habit. It's
Yep.
one of those things,
Yeah, yeah.
you know?
Just a
Yep.
habit, and unlearning that
Mhm.
unlearning part, trying to
Mhm.
unlearn, and then also heal, and still show up for
Mm,
Mhm.
your mom, and then
mm.
Mhm.
still give grace and hold that capacity for others. I have
Mhm.
my days where it's like, woo, Lordy, wow. But I
Yeah.
also realize that it's a gift. It's a gift,
Yeah.
because, like my shirt says right now, I talk to strangers, because I have
Yeah.
I could
strangers
see that. I could
that
totally see that.
That is
Meanwhile,
so
I'm
me
like,
too. Like I'll do that too.
strangers tell me their whole life story for, like,
I
and
need that shirt.
I just say,
but you're a
hey,
vessel.
yeah,
You're a vessel for that reason. But I want to say, like, your arsenal of relatability is full.
Yeah,
Like you
it
got
is.
all types of skills, and like I love it. I love it.
Oh, okay. Real quick, y'all. We got Mika on IG. She said, when you give others so much grace, you have to be sure to extend the same grace to yourself. That's good.
Absolutely, showing up for
Yeah.
you.
every
We just talked
Yeah.
about this.
Yep.
show up
Remembering to
for
Yep.
show
yourself,
up for yourself.
and look at yourself. It's one of those things where
Oh, sorry,
I'm
y'all.
looking myself in the mirror every morning
Mhm.
now, and give myself that grace, give myself that love. The
Mhm.
same things that I was giving to others, I learned I have to give it to myself first before I can give it to anyone else. And that's what I encourage everyone to do, especially like now my focus is just moms. That's what my therapy is based on, my moms, and making sure that they're able to show up for their best selves, not only for themselves, but for their babies. Because as a mom, you get pulled in every direction. Everybody's telling them,
Man, I've never worn so many hats in my life. And I love them. You know what I'm saying? It is a rewarding job, but goodness, I could put some of them on the wall and leave them.
yes.
Exactly. I'm with. Hold on.
So
Man.
even in this journey, I'm just loving embracing motherhood even more because
Mm-hmm.
it made me realize how I needed to show up more for my child. Because baby, there's too many people walking around out here with mother wounds and father wounds. And I realized that, even my own self with some of my own wounds and how they showed up, I had to work through that. And so I love the fact that now I get to share my space with other women, encourage other women to do the same thing, even still men, because I have a son. So, and I tell men all the time, you need that space too. You
Yeah.
need someone to talk to too. So I encourage it with the men too. But I know right now my focus is mamas.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
We got more
Um,
coming in. Okay, so Mika is messaging again, having kids ranging from 25 and 1. She's
Ooh,
definitely talking about that whole motherhood. She's like, "Oh Lord, tell me about it." That's what she
it's
put.
it's tough. It's tough. And even now, like in my training, it's still me learning how to pour into people with my training, still listen with that active listening and not listening from that traumatized ear because I feel like a lot of people they hear from trauma and they
Mm.
don't actively listen to what people are
trauma bonding
asking.
is so
Ooh.
dangerous.
And when
Yeah,
you get caught up in
'cause
that,
people do it
yeah,
Whew.
every day, all day.
honey, it's like a
Trauma bonding is dangerous.
So
Oh
so
man.
Tawana, let's rewind. Go back to that trauma hearing. Now that is deep. I want to
Mm-hmm.
talk and teach us a little bit about that one. Trauma hearing.
a lot of people hear from the trauma. If you've had a different experience, like for example, I just talked to one of my girlfriends, and it's one of those things where we picked up where we left off, and I can reel in and talk to her. We can be go months without talking, but it's one of those things where we get wrapped up in talking about, oh, we used to hang out and do this, girl, and we used to go and do that, and what about all these different guys that we talked to? And it's like, hey, we've been there, we've done that. We don't kind of want to get wrapped up in that trauma bond. And I
Mhm.
want you to kind of start being more positive. But then, like you said, when you're listening from that trauma ear, a lot of people, they respond, they react when you're listening from a traumatized ear. You react, you don't respond. And a lot of times
Mm.
you become more defensive in your responses or your reactions.
Woo!
And so
Yes,
This
miss.
is a
learning,
whole
That's
session
a
in
word.
itself. I need
That's
some
a
daggone
learning
paper.
word.
that,
I need pen and paper.
recognize that.
Matter
Yeah.
of fact, I need to invite some people I know to this one. And I need you to repeat that.
You have to tell
Yeah,
them,
that's a
and so
word.
my go-to now is when I say something and I can tell that like, oh, they kind of listening from a traumatized ear. I said, what did you hear me say? So that I can really understand what did they hear me actually say, because then I can really be able to give some more clarity on what I actually was trying to say to them.
But
And I think
I
it's
can
nothing
tell
wrong with
you, Tawana, I can tell you just being guilty of trauma hearing, you're so quick to respond to relate to the trauma that you haven't even listened to
that.
understand
Yes.
what is being asked. You know what I'm saying? You're just
Mhm.
right now, you're just caught up on, well, when I was, and then when I did, you know what I mean?
Mhm.
Like you're not even listening to comprehend what's being asked of you. Because naturally, in your role, the goal is to get the patient. You know, there's a
Yep.
finish line. You know
Yep.
what I mean?
Hmm.
And so, man, that's so deep.
Yeah, because even I had to realize that even I was listening to people from a traumatized ear,
Mm.
from just my past experience. It's like the book
Mm-hmm.
that I love and I tell everyone to read, The Body Keeps Score. Like the body
Oh.
does keep score. Those emotions, all of those things, they come up. And so a lot of times when you're engaging with whoever it might be, family members, friends, sometimes
Mm-hmm.
you're listening from that traumatized ear and you're not actually actively listening to what they're saying. You're so ready to defend yourself.
Mm-hmm.
So real quick,
And
Tawana,
Kokila
I'm gonna
mentioned
I'm gonna put it in the chat. What's the name of the book you
the
recommended?
body keeps score.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
But Kokila mentioned, yes, starting with the child who never healed and then the child who never heard. I was a child who was never heard.
Mhm.
So it was a child who was never heard. I was that child. And so when I do get the trauma hearing, I now have to recognize that wait, this isn't about me.
Mhm.
You
Yep,
know what I'm saying?
exactly.
And
That's the key
so
word. You. It's about them.
right,
And recognizing
right,
that. Yeah. And so you
right.
learn the remorse, respond to that what's behind the words, the
Mhm.
emotion behind the word,
Mhm.
and learning how to
Mhm.
respond to that and not give them the reaction. Because some people,
Mhm.
you know, they're going to they give you that reaction and they're probably
Right.
looking for that same reaction back. But I
Right.
don't even tell people now, oh baby, I'm not matching your energy. It's okay.
Man, not in that
No,
space at least.
no, okay, baby. I understand, that you're listening from a different perspective. And if you're not in a space to receive it, that's okay as well. Because, like
Yeah.
you said, you understand it's not you, it's them.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So, even like some of those books, The Body Keeps Score, I just finished reading Attached. That is an amazing book as well because that lets you know what your attachment style is. You know,
Okay.
some people come from an anxious attachment style, where you're kind of like, you're kind of on that tug of war. You're looking for that reinforcement. You're looking for that confirmation. And some people have that avoidant type of attachment to where they divulge from those feelings. Those are the people that tell you, oh, you're too sensitive or you're making me act like this. They're avoiding those emotions. So it's listening for those
That
particular
sounds like a
things.
narcissist, Tawana.
Yeah. You're listening for those particular things in the conversations, and when you kind of pick up on those, you kind of know how to respond. Because that kind of just made me realize I'm more of a secured attachment now, so I do
Hmm.
kind of attract anxious people and avoidant people. I kind of attract both, and trying to learn the difference. Try to just knowing how to respond to either one, either way.
Hmm. Okay. All right. So we talked about when we first kind of met with you to kind of like, get our little feelers out there. We talked about some of your struggles, and I think like just in our community more so, we face these struggles blindly, right? There's already a target, either whether it be on our head or on our back, forehead or on our back. But the one that stuck out, well, it was three that stuck out to me. You mentioned that being intimidating, too forward, and then you mentioned your workflow. I didn't, and I wanted to question the workflow, but your struggles as far as being intimidated and then too forward, like how are you in the process of still overcoming those? How have you overcome those? Talk to us about that.
Girl, no, I got intimidated this last week at work.
Oh no.
And I don't think that I'm intimidating. I think what it is I have like I have a no bullshit meter. So that's
So
what,
Yeah.
you're no nonsense. You are
yeah,
a no nonsense
yeah.
person. Okay.
So I kind of pick up on like, what's your angle? What's your angle? Where are you coming from? And I'll call
I
that out.
like it.
I call that out, when I see it because I feel like that's being an adult. That's being able to bring things to surface. That's being able to have a conversation, and that's being able to
Hmm.
engage.
Now
And
this is in the therapy field, right?
the therapy field, oh honey, at
Okay.
work, I just
Okay.
thought I'm intimidating even outside of work. Just my whole demeanor. And so when people
So the
first see me,
RBF is real.
yeah, they're like, "Oh, she's intimidating." And then when I light up, and I'm like, "Oh, hey," they're like, "Oh, she's not that bad after all." And I'm like, "No,
Hmm.
I'm not." But when I pick up on the bull, I will call it
Hmm.
out. I will have a conversation about it. Can we engage in a conversation? But it's a struggle, and I think as a Black woman, you get called intimidating a lot. Oh, especially because of my dark complexion. Oh my gosh. I
Yeah.
definitely get labeled, intimidating because, you're the dark skinned Black woman, and so juggling that sometimes, I just let people know I'm not intimidating. I'm passionate. I'm very
I love
forward.
that.
I don't feel like I'm blunt, but I am direct with how I say
Hmm.
it. And I think that can be intimidating to the other person. So me learning now to navigate that is more so like what we said before. I don't see it as me being intimidated. I just see them being as intimidated by me. And so I kind of help myself with, I kind of understand, let me kind of just be a little bit more subtle and a little bit more approachable with them to kind of help ease that feeling. If they do
Mm-hmm.
feel intimidated by me.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
So I laughed at Shalita because she goes dark, and I made a face too when you said your dark complexion. I'm like, girl,
You get the
I was trying to
comment,
hold it in. I was like, oh Lord, here we
dark
go.
skinned girl, you get that comment, you're pretty for a dark skinned girl, or you're pretty
that's not a
intimidated
compliment.
because you're dark. And it's like,
Yeah,
that's not a compliment. That's so backhanded, and I wish y'all would stop that. Stop
yeah,
that
very
shit.
much,
Right.
very
Right.
much.
Kokila put by 2025 standards, any color can become a threat when people avoid accountability.
If
Oh,
you're not
Ooh.
yeah.
almost see through, if you're not almost
Ooh.
see through, you're not one of them.
Yeah.
So, and I mean, some of us are
Ooh.
almost see through. You know what I mean? I got cousins. Um,
I
Yeah.
but
love
I
that.
think what Kokila mentioned is very much so.
Oh yeah.
But I think, like, as I mentioned before, the targets that we have, we knowingly, unknowingly walk
Mm.
with these targets. Like, we now know, like, this is why
Mm-hmm.
we were given a hard time. We had the microaggressions because we typically have deeper voices. We are
Yep.
intimidated. We're aggressive. And Becky can share the same. We can have the same exact response to something. Becky's gonna look passionate. We're gonna
Right.
look aggressive.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
You know,
So,
so that's just society. Sadly, that's what we have to deal with. Um,
and you know what? It's
yeah.
okay. You know what? We do it. We still shine our light. We still show up as the queens that we are.
Oh, absolutely.
And we execute above and beyond.
Here we go.
You
Yeah.
know
And
what I mean? And we go in there and
Yeah.
show them how to do it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
mm-hmm.
Leadership is, I feel like
Absolutely.
leadership is in our DNA.
It's
You know what I mean?
innate. Yeah.
It's in our
Very
DNA.
much.
We
It
can
Very
is.
lead, we
much.
can create, we can innovate. You know what I mean? It's in the DNA. It's natural.
And I think that
Don't
just
even
some
get me
people have
started
to
on that.
learn to.
That's
Some people
another
just have to
topic.
learn how to accept that, and just learn how to accept that. It's not. You shouldn't be intimidated by it. You should be more inspired by it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Let it be
Exactly.
inspire you to do the same.
Yep.
And I'm the type of woman. I'll walk with you in that walk.
Yeah.
Like when we talked before, and Don's was saying how she liked to get up with her high energy, and I'm like, ooh, wait a minute, friend. Now, if we on vacation, you want to be high energy. Now I'm gonna be behind you with a bullhorn while you doing it.
Where
Yeah,
I said I was gonna be, Tawana.
taking naps.
Laying out, relax.
Yes, sir. You got it.
Laying out, relaxing. Now,
Oh,
I can give you both. Now we can lay on the beach all day, but friend, if you say we want to go, okay, friend, I got you. But baby, let me tell
You
you,
right. You fit right in between us, honey. Because
yeah,
I'm gonna take a nap.
you
Okay.
know, it's I've always been a girl's girl. I love the sisterhood. I love the camaraderie. Like
Very much.
for years, I have opened up my home and thrown like for no reason. I love a good theme, just to throw it together a party and say, hey, come on, everybody,
Yeah.
time.
Oh, I can't wait to get close, y'all. I cannot wait to get close. So we moving to
see.
Raleigh. Yes, we're moving to Raleigh, so I'll be closer. But you talking about a good party? We're hosting a New Year's Eve masquerade ball.
Listen, y'all can do this whole virtual thing.
It's
Virtual meeting. Get me on a video call or something,
yeah.
yo.
We listen for
Come
real. Like,
on.
I love a good party. Like, that's just me. Like, I love it. So
Yes.
I'm with you, honey. Let's do it.
I love the sisterhood and being
Very
able to
much.
put different women in the same room together and
To
everyone is
Mm,
divide
able
that
to
to
inspire each
divide the
other.
stereotype, because it's just like we can't, for whatever reason, there's a label out there. We can't get together without it being catty. We can't get
Right.
together without it being, you know what I mean? Like, we don't, like, we're bigger than that. We're better than that. Like, and we was talking about this. I think we had Kaya on, how, like, now that we're 40, right? Well, Donzi and I, and Wadia, and so, like, our class, right? I had to throw her in there. Our class, but how we were, like, me, I was afraid, and
Mhm.
then there was a part of me that was like, wait a minute, we're beautiful, we are healthy, we are radiant,
Yeah.
we are just a different breed of, we're different from what our parents
Yeah.
were for. You
Oh
know what I mean?
yes,
Like
yes.
we set some standards and we are setting standards. And
And
it's like,
40 just
okay, so
opens up the
like
windows.
we don't have time. Like we're really, and I feel like cuz like with me, I feel like I'm reaching my peak.
Oh girl, yes. Man,
Yes, like
40
I'm
opens up
in
the
this
door.
right, like we're just in this. Okay, right. Okay, Kokila, yes, Kokila's 42. I'm sorry, boo.
Four now too.
She's 40 also.
I
Wait,
love how
who's
she
giving
wrote
her
that.
number? You
Four now
read it,
too.
Frank? Oh,
No,
Yes.
four now two.
it,
42.
oh,
Yep.
it didn't. It doesn't have anything for it. Maybe it's loading, but it just says I'm now two on my side. But yes,
Oh.
honey. Yeah, so it just has a space. I was like, are you like me, afraid to acknowledge it? You
Okay, hold on. So I thought that
understand?
meant, listen, y'all. I thought that meant I'm 40 now too. I
It
thought it
might
meant
have.
42. No, my brain went to
Oh no,
42.
Coquila's 40.
She's
Oh,
I,
there
40.
you go.
yeah.
It popped up.
Mhm.
It's 40. It just popped up.
I thought she gave me
Yes.
42. But anyway.
40 is like the 40 is the peak. And I knew going into 40 that I wanted something different for myself. I wanted life to look different. I wanted to just show up different. And 40 is something that just clicks at 40. Something just completely clicks with you at 40. And you just have this whole, I don't care. I want to be me. And it's almost
Hmm.
like you reinvent yourself. And that's what I did at
Mm-hmm.
40. I just started reinventing myself into who I wanted to be, who I
Mm-hmm.
inspired to be. Because it brought me back to my old school self. Like, y'all, I went back to watching like Diane Carroll on Dynasty, like that old school back type. I like that old Hollywood, like, just
I
the
don't
way
know what that is.
And I'm sitting here like,
when anybody in my age
now I'm
group
real old.
that knows about
Right.
Dynasty, it was a soap opera that used to come on at late at night that my grandma used to watch back
Is
in
it
the
older
Whatever you
than Little
say,
House on
sis.
the Prairie?
girl. It's back like with that. It's back then.
Okay, okay.
And
Mm.
Whatever you say, sis. I believe
I
you.
used to love Diane. I love Diane Carroll. I love, I look to some of those older women the way that they carry themselves, like Diane Carroll.
Very
Um,
pristine.
you know, Felicia Rashad, the way she carried herself as the mom on the Cosby Show.
Still,
Yes,
listen,
you
no other TV mom will ever
know,
compare.
yes,
That is the epitome of you cannot compete
yes,
Yeah.
where you don't compare. Cause like she's a standard for this to have been fake,
yes.
right? She
Hmm.
set such a realistic standard for us.
Yes, yes. I love
It's
her
just it is
presence, her
bonkers.
aura, her presence, her aura.
Yep.
I went back to really realizing how those women back in those times, how they embraced coming into their age and embraced coming into their own person. And I kind of looked to that and I started creating my own set of values for me to follow. I was given the best foundation, from my parents, but when you kind of hit to a certain age where you're like, I need to set my own values. I need to set my own foundation for myself and lay that groundwork for your children the way that your parents laid that groundwork for you. That's
Hmm.
what kind of made me say, okay, let's switch it up. Let's do things a little bit different, you know?
But I love that you had examples. I remember you guys' grandmother. I think Wadia probably favors her the most.
Ooh, girl, Mary Lord.
Um, yes, and but she was always nice and sweet. You know what I'm saying to us. I
Mhm.
mean, I get it with grandmas and moms when
Yeah,
it's yours. You know what I mean?
yeah. Like,
But I
you
say I say
yeah.
that like you guys have had a wonderful foundation, and then the closeness that I see with you and your siblings, and then with your mom and your family and things like that, love it. But what I also like is that they set a standard for you. And earlier you mentioned that what worked for you didn't work for Nasir,
Yes.
right?
Mhm.
And
Mm.
so I love that even though you figured out, like, okay, this is how I was raised, you didn't decide, like, this is it. This is all we know. This is the only way that we're going. You took that path, and as you were going straight, Nasir was like, nah, mom, we got to go right. And instead of
Mhm.
saying, no, we're going back straight, you went right with him.
Yes.
Mm.
Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah.
I
Because I
feel
think
like
that,
that's what like motherhood or parenting really should look like.
Yeah.
That way there's no division between you and the child, because being in my opinion, being a parent, I feel like that title is just so watered down. I really feel like we're shepherds. We're shepherds over these little humans that we've been blessed with, you know what I
No,
mean?
for
So
real.
when you're shepherding somebody, you go with them and you lead them and
Mhm.
you don't separate, you know what I mean? You shepherd them
Right.
along the
Mhm.
way. So I think that's really
Yeah.
beautiful, the fact that you took that path with your son, because a lot of times I know, like the way I was brought up, it was like, for the most part, it's like, don't talk until till I talk to
Mhm.
you. You speak when I tell you to speak, you
Children are
know,
seen, not heard.
don't voice your opinion, you just sit down and be quiet, you know what I mean? That type of upbringing, and it for the most part, in certain situations, it doesn't work with this generation of kids. You'll
No,
end up child ran off, can't find them, you know what I mean? So yeah, I really commend you for that.
it
That's a beautiful.
changed my whole look because, like what you said, I grew up in
Oh,
where
that's
children were
so
seen,
nice.
not heard. And it was a lot of times it was, just do as I say, not necessarily that explanation as to why we're doing things this way or what's kind of going on or what's kind of happening. And so
Mhm.
I love the fact that I get to share, a different experience with my son, and we're able to form a different type of relationship and build off of that. And it's made us a lot closer.
Oh, that's good. I mean, but in the space though, you were going to be close by default because your son needed you and you showed
Mhm.
up,
Yeah,
and that like you know what I mean. I wouldn't see a
Exactly.
separation there. You know what I'm saying? That's an instant bond because when he needs you in a different space, mama's going to show up, and whether you're showing up to hold him accountable or you're showing up to like and support, it can go so many ways, right? You're
yeah,
not, I don't want to say, that's the word I'm looking for, is enabling. That was the word. So you're showing up to support him versus enabling him. There's
yeah,
going to
Mm.
always be a connection,
yeah.
always.
Totally different. And it's
Shalita made a good comment. She said, that style of parenting didn't work for us. That's why a lot of us are traumatized
yeah,
No, you're right,
and
she's
still
you're
absolutely
trying to
right.
right
heal.
though.
Yeah,
That's so
still
true.
Very
trying to heal.
much,
Yeah,
We're still
very much.
trying to
And
and
the
the
heal.
healing is
Coquila
no
just
joke
mentioned.
up and down.
Yep.
Coquila mentioned the child that was never heard.
Yeah.
Yep.
And now I have so much to say.
So
You know what I'm
much.
Oh,
saying?
girl.
And it's like talking to my kid, I can talk him through, like, Caden tested for anxiety. He doesn't, it looks like ADHD, but he has test anxiety like really bad. And he's
Mhm.
now in third grade. And tests are so big in third grade. And so work all A's. As soon as he get a test, boom, F. And it's like, the stuff, buddy,
Mhm.
but it's the
Yeah.
anxiety, right? So we started him on like this natural chewables and gummies or whatever.
Mhm.
He hates them. But instead of yelling at him and you're gonna take it, you better just drink some water and you gotta take it. I was like, listen, we get anxiety when we take our test. We get fidgety. We don't focus,
Right.
right? Your mind just empties out everything that you know. So I
Mhm.
know that it's nasty. You're absolutely right. And if I could change the flavor to something that you would like, I would. But we got to take it.
Yeah. And it's just taking that time and giving
Honey,
him that space to
this
get a
man was
whole
over there
different
on the
reaction.
steps. He was over there on the steps like Stevie Wonder. No, no. And then after I talked to him, he got right up and just went and took it. He chewed it. He hated it. I seen all of it in his face. He took his water and he was like, I'm done.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And like
But
you
it
said, it's one of those things
just
where you
talking. Yeah.
understand, you also understand when you don't feel seen or heard, because I also
Mm-hmm.
have dealt with that too, in a lot
Mm-hmm.
of dynamics to where it's like, are they really listening to me? No, they're not
Mm-hmm.
listening to me.
Mm-hmm.
And just coming from that space too kind of made me learn how to just know how to create that space for my kid. And when I
Yeah.
see frustration with him or I see it, it's like, okay, what's going on? Let me
Yeah.
know. Let's talk about it. Let's figure it out. Let's work through those things. Because I think a lot of times too, when we was coming up, you wasn't really allowed to express how you feel, because a lot of times
Yeah.
it's disrespect, and it's like, this is not disrespect. I'm expressing how I feel, and instead of seeing it
Mm.
as like you expressing how you feel and then being shown how to express it verbally in a different way, and being mindful of your tone and your words. It was more so like, you're being disrespectful. I don't want to hear it, and go on about your business.
When
And
in reality you're not. You're just
no, but
expressing your disdain or dislike for something. We
yes,
it's almost like we it's okay for us to agree to disagree as adults, but a child has to agree with everything we say,
everything.
and they're
Mhm.
different. They might have a part of you in them, but they're different. They might not like this lasagna soup, but
Yep.
I and then it's like, well, I don't like that, I don't want that, I don't like it. Well, that's all you eating for dinner.
Yeah. And it made me
No.
realize like that definitely also kind of made me go into my people pleasing ways.
Mm-hmm.
And once I kind of developed that, it kind of, yeah, it did traumatize me. I went through a
Mm-hmm.
lot of trauma of being manipulated emotionally,
Mm.
physically, I went through all of those things. And even going through that and kind of going back to school and learning how to put the words to what I experienced was big too. I didn't
Mm.
Yeah.
have the language either. I didn't have the language.
Wow.
And so I had to
Yeah.
learn how to develop the language to even know what manipulation was, even though that's what I
Yeah.
was experiencing, or knowing what
Yeah.
being gaslit was, or
I still don't really know that one, but I digress.
honey, just learning, when you're being gaslit, or just also too learning the difference between when people are talking to be heard and they're using what
Hmm.
I call excuse language, where they're just talking because they got an ear for somebody to listen to.
Hmm.
And learning
Understand.
like this is excuse language. When are you going to put some action behind it? When are we
Right.
going to take the
I,
right steps?
so you talk about these words. So we talking about gaslighting. What would we have said that was back in our day? I suppose I
Oh,
sound old, don't I? Back in our
yes,
day.
back in the day. Let me see. Oh my goodness.
While y'all talking about that, I want to talk about Shalita's comments while y'all try to find that word because I don't know the word. I don't even know the word. So Shalita was saying, I think the reason a lot of the reason I'm so close to my children is because I never thought I was raising children. I knew I was raising adults. I
Ah,
give my kids the same respect I expect from
Uh
them, and I let them express themselves freely as long as it's with respect. Yes, I am the
yeah.
same
No,
way.
dig it. Dig
Yes,
it. Why Dia said fast talker.
fast
yes.
talker,
A fast
I
talker, or
agree.
also too, a lot of times people use religion
dragging it.
to gaslight people. So it's just
Hmm.
another form of manipulation. Like
Yeah.
when
Yeah.
you're expressing how you feel, and then um, I'll give you a great example. I one time was expressing how I felt to a coworker, and she automatically went to, "Ooh, well, dear Lord, let's start praying," and that's not of God. And then I'm like, "Ooh, ooh, she's trying to manipulate me." That's a part of gaslighting, like using the religion to stop me from expressing how I feel, and using the religion and God to kind of control the conversation. So some people will throw it in there on you, and you don't even
Is
realize.
that the same as them saying look at Satan?
Yep,
You know how they blame, okay,
They
okay, I'm
blame
mm-hmm.
following.
everything on the devil nowadays.
Thanks,
Oh
I
devil.
keep telling people,
man.
listen, y'all need to wake on up. That ain't the devil, that's
Mhm.
you, yo. You learning another piece of you. Wake on up.
Mhm.
Stop trying to put it on
Bingo.
Lucifer.
Yeah.
These
Right.
people
Or
are hilarious.
I just
Bingo.
had I just a recent experience. I just had someone saying, "I'm respecting your boundaries. I'm not gonna come into your home. I'm respecting your boundaries," but then at the same time was asking, "Can you come stay with me?" And kept
Mm.
saying, "I'm respecting your boundaries. I understand how you feel. I've been there too. I know exactly what that feels like. Um,
However,
but I
but
still need to
the
stay with
but
you."
the
That
but
is
the
scary.
but they should have put the but in capital letters, and then like on the iPhones it'll do like this for you, it'll bounce. You
Yeah.
understand? Like the
And
but negated everything.
it's like, well, are you really respecting my boundaries by telling me how you're wanting to respect them and how you wish that everyone else respect them, but still in the same context, you're asking me for what you need. So that's some form of manipulation, and that's emotional manipulation.
Very much.
You're tugging on my heartstring because you know that I don't mind opening up my space to you. I have opened up my space to you, but you know that I've closed off my space to you because you've disrespected me in my own home. And so, with that being said, now you're trying to circle back and you're just coming another,
Mm-hmm.
and it's just another way of manipulating people. That's all gaslighting is. It's just different forms of manipulation. Some people use
Gotcha.
financial ways to do it with money. Some people do it emotionally. It just depends, and it comes in all forms. And I think one of the biggest things that I had to learn was didn't realize that I was involved in it or saw a lot of it in my childhood. So I had to
Mm-hmm.
get accustomed to it and thought that that was normal.
Right, but so back then we just called it guilt trip.
Yes.
That's what we called it back then, because
Shame,
like,
that guilt, that judgment.
that's what we called it back then, guilt trip. And like they would, that's what they would do. They would make you feel guilty about a decision that you made for yourself, but whereas you thought that was the best decision for you, and then they say like, oh, well, what about when we did this? So what about your this? And then,
Mm-hmm.
or they'll, like you said, manipulation with money and things like that. Well, if you decide, like, full transparency, um my stepdaughter, whatever, we that whole situation was nothing but manipulation. On, like, it was just too much, and once I realized what it was, I just started backing up.
Yep,
I can't
you
be
have
a part
to.
of this, because it's not the it's this that's not the religion I live. You know what I'm
Not the
saying?
religion I live.
Yes.
That's not the religion I practice by. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-mm.
Like, it's just,
Dude.
I'm not a I don't take sides. We're either right or wrong.
Right.
you
There you
know
go.
and so if we got to manipulate, if you have to manipulate her so that she doesn't have a relationship with me, do you, boo?
Yeah.
I don't care. I really don't care. Like,
Yeah.
because, like, in the end, it's not going to work out how you thought it was. It's going to work out temporarily, but I can't compete with somebody that does.
Mm-hmm.
That's a devilish thing.
Ooh, honey, and
But
I'm not signing up. We not signing up for that. No, baby.
no, what I say, that's not the religion I practice. Okay.
Mm-mm. We not signing up for that.
Kokila put dating is hard once you become educated and grounded.
Ooh, good.
Agreed.
Ooh. Ooh, I'm gonna put this out here. I am so glad I am not in the dating field right now because I've heard so
Cause
many.
that
Lord, thank
pool
you,
is
y'all. Thank
full
you
of
for my
poo
husband.
poo.
Girl,
Yo,
it looked
this
just like
stuff
that
y'all dealing
scene
with.
from what's the Poltergeist with the mama in there with all the bodies and all that stuff. It is just like that
Oh,
scene.
Oh
I didn't
my
get to
God,
that
I
part.
have heard so many horror stories.
I didn't
I
get to
I
that part.
I hate
Mhm.
that for y'all. This
Yeah.
dating game
Yeah.
nowadays is bad. Oh,
But
I'm
I
so
tell
bored.
most people, don't date while you're healing. Don't date.
No,
Mm.
Don't date
that's
while you're
not
healing
fair
because
to
all
either
you're
one of
gonna do
y'all.
is you're either gonna reopen some wounds or you're gonna end up traumatizing the person that you're involved with,
That's
especially if
very
that
selfish.
person, yeah, especially if that person is not working on themselves and
listen, listen to Shalita.
you
Shalita,
know,
Shalita
do
said
not
I'm coming.
comment.
Hold on. Okay, wait a minute. Let me try it. Hold on. Wait a minute now. Now you said don't date while you're healing, but listen,
no,
people in my opinion, I feel like when you're healing, a lot of times people need compassion. You know what I'm
yeah.
saying? So what's your definition of dating?
I
Because
don't think you should date while you're healing
Seriously,
because you're trying to still
I
figure
think people
out
need
who you are and you're
I
are
think
you
people need they
meaning
still should date while they're
not
healing.
you? So, like, not a serial dater, but not I'm moving into a commitment. You're just saying date casually. Wait, wait,
yes.
wait, wait, wait. You're saying don't. No, no, wait.
Ooh, y'all, this getting
Let
good.
me start
Shalita just
over.
made a good point. She said you
You,
always healing.
you
You
should always be
are.
healing.
You are
So,
human, but when you're really trying to figure out who you are and you're trying to become more aware of how you show
Mm.
up, healing, you can either re-traumatize yourself or you can traumatize the next person. Because if that person is not on the same, if they're not aligned with where you're going and they're not working on the same things, then a lot of times you're gonna find that conflict or you're gonna run into where you're gonna bump heads. You're not fully aligned. So I tell most people while you're doing that initial work, while you're healing, don't
the
date.
vulnerable
Don't date
space. You mean
until
like in
you
that vulnerable space?
don't
Yeah,
date until you feel more comfortable and more secured and
I
more
could see
grounded
that.
within
in
yourself.
how within yourself.
And
Right.
Shalita,
Then
I
you
agree
Honestly,
with you too. I agree
yeah,
with
I agree with
Shalita
what
too.
Shalita's saying too. And I
Um,
definitely see what Tawana is saying too.
yeah.
But also,
Healing is
like on the
always
flip side, of this, so think about it. Like I feel like a lot of times, like me, I'm married, yeah. But when I'm like I have my seasons of healing, but my husband, he's the opposite of me. And he's able to feed me in a way that I can't feed
love
myself.
that.
So
Yeah.
in certain seasons, he's actually more grounded than I am,
Mhm.
and he helps me to get regrounded. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
I understand where you're coming from, but at the same time, I
Hmm.
can see how if you have that right person, right? If it's the right person, right?
Right.
They
Mhm.
can actually be the opposite of what you are in that moment and help you become more grounded.
Yeah. Because
Um,
sometimes when you first start healing, you are trying to figure out who you are, where you're going, you're trying to find yourself. And a lot of times it's easy. If you are already a person that was already finding yourself within that relationship, you know how some people lose themselves in a
yep,
relationship?
yep, yep.
Those are the people I say, no, you need to take a step back, figure out who you are, and kind of give yourself that foundation. And
Yeah,
then as you kind of grow into it and you step out and you start learning a little bit more, as you keep
yes,
healing, you will eventually meet the right people because you're also learning how to, you got to learn how to discern again, too. You got to learn that discernment. You know,
yep,
sometimes you learn that your previous discernment on how who you was picking and who you was allowing into your space, you learning that some of those people wasn't the right fit for you. So
right.
you navigating that journey, you know, kind of take a step back from dating, trying to take a step back from everyone else and kind of look where you're at before you put your foot in that pool. Now, yeah, I definitely do feel like healing. That's a never ending journey. You're
Right.
gonna heal from everything that you're going through. But initially, when I mean, even when I first started doing therapy, my first style of therapy that I love so much is EMDR. And with that type of therapy is more so about that awareness piece and you really figuring out yourself. And then once you kind of grown a little bit more into yourself with that, then kind of go into more dating. Because then yes, you know who you are, so you kind of know how to navigate those spaces. So when you are meeting new people, you're like, I don't know about this one. I don't know about that one. But you got to create that self-awareness piece within yourself first. You
Yep.
got to be aware of
And
how.
then this is so good, yo. Like we've been on here an hour. We're gonna have to hop off soon. But real quick, Shalita made a really good point. The difference between finding out who you are, finding yourself versus healing. There's a difference.
Mhm.
You know,
Hmm.
and I love Tawana how you actually broke that down because Shalita was just talking about that. You know, there's actually a difference between the two, but also like from my personal experience, I've learned to be okay with embracing whoever I am in whatever season of life I'm in. And people need to understand we
Mhm.
change on a daily basis.
Yep.
You know, we're not robots, we're humans. So when people understand that, you're going to change, you're going to think differently, you're going to want to do different things, you're evolving. And when
Yep.
people are okay with embracing that part of themselves, it makes the finding out who you are part much
Authentic.
easier, right?
Show
They're
up
not trying to
your
block it, you
authentic.
know?
Right. You show up as your authentic self, and I think
Yeah.
that's more valuable. Is once you kind of learn yourself, you show up you show up as your true
Oh,
authentic self.
yes, yes.
You, there's nothing better than that. Even my
Yeah.
last year in school, that was like my final paper was taking the mask off because I was
Mm.
masking for a long time, and I had to learn I don't want to mask anymore. I can't keep I can't show up like this no more. I need to show up as my true authentic self. And I think that's the best thing that you can give anyone. The best gift you can give anyone is showing up as your authentic self.
Trying to be something you're not is so taxing.
Hmm. Yep.
It is. It's draining.
You know,
On
it's so
every level though,
passionate.
Tila, right?
Yeah,
Like
yeah, yeah, yeah,
Training.
yeah. And
mentally, physically, spiritually, like, yo, it's crazy
that's
draining.
like y'all laugh when I say like them naps. But I think I take so many naps now is because I was trying to fill too many roles that I just wasn't
Mm.
prepared for. They weren't for
Yeah.
me, but I
Yeah.
was trying to do it to check the box.
Yep.
You
And that's what
understand?
it is, baby. Once you take that mask off, you feel
Yeah.
so much
Like this
better.
ain't even me. You know what I
Hmm.
mean? Like literally, I'm literally like, this is not even me. What the hell am I doing?
Right,
Right.
right.
And it's draining. It tires you out.
Hmm.
And so I tell anyone, like, just be true to yourself. Love
Very
yourself
much. It's
first.
so freeing.
It
It
is.
is. And give yourself the grace. And you look at yourself every morning in the mirror. Forgive that version of you that dealt with whatever you dealt with, but also love on that new version of you that's showing up every day now.
That's
Yep.
so beautiful. That's
Hmm.
so daggone beautiful. Say it one more time. One more time, Tawana. One more time.
Give yourself grace. Look at yourself in the mirror and forgive the version of you that accepted whatever you accepted. But give yourself grace and love on that version of you now that you are involved into. No,
All
Mm.
head bow, all heads bow, all
Yeah.
eyes closed. No one looking around.
baby, every day,
Too much.
kiss that woman in the mirror and say,
Yes.
girl, you are doing this, and keep it going, and don't let no one stop you, because a lot of times that's what you have is people who try to limit you, they limit you, and they try to, they try to mute you, and
Mm.
Yeah,
other people mute you. No,
Mm.
yeah.
your voice be
So,
heard. Yeah.
Tawana, you say, look, look in the mirror and kiss yourself. You guys, I keep a dry erase marker in my bathroom.
Ooh, girl,
I write affirmations on the mirror
you
for
better
my
do that Mary Jane
children.
stuff, girl.
Yes, for my children, for me, and I before even Mary Jane, my hairstylist, this was back in like 2012. My
Mhm.
hairstyle used to keep sticky notes on her mirror.
Yep, that's how I
And
started.
so, yep. And so then I asked her, I said, why do you have so many sticky notes? And she was like, because I don't want to use a Sharpie. And then we figured out a dry erase marker will work. You know what I'm
Yep.
saying?
Hmm.
And that's just where it just kind of took off. And so, but it's even like, with us, with this transition we're about to make, and Stephen is such a planner as well in that space, like getting ahead of himself or doubt. And I'm like, no, just let's just stay focused on the goal. So it's little messages you know what I'm saying?
Yep.
And it's so fulfilling. You know what I mean? Just to be like one of mine, I think, is flourish. Love yourself. Remember your boundaries. You know,
Yeah.
and yeah, like this glow. You know what I mean? Like I see the glow within myself. I look at my friend, and I told her one day, I was like, I love the life that you're living. The life that you're living has inspired me to want to live my life
Yeah.
in
Because
your honor.
everybody always say you live once. No, you live every day.
Yeah.
You live
You do
every
live
day.
every day. But when
Every
I talk about my friend, know who I'm talking to. She ain't acknowledged it yet, Donzie. But like
I can't do
she,
this. You're gonna make me cry over here.
it's fine, cry because you deserve it. You deserve these flowers on every platform.
honey. Okay.
Donzie is Donzie is such an obedient person. And when I say, I think about everything that is going on in this girl's life. And when Donzie said, I gotta do it. I just gotta do it. I gotta step out. I gotta do it. And she was second guessing herself. And now this girl is traveling to Ghana.
Honey.
This girl is doing international real estate. This girl's son is playing soccer in damn Spain. This girl is from Craven Terrace.
Yes.
And because of her glow, it's out there. If
Yes.
she can get it, sh I know it's enough for me to catch on too. I just want a little bit. I don't even need all she got. You know what I'm saying? I just want a little bit.
And
But
that's
my
all
friend has
you need.
that girl
Yes.
That's all
has
you
an
need.
internal glow. You know what I'm saying? And it's just like, well, look at her. Like that's my friend.
Got her
That's
in
my
tears
friend,
over here.
y'all.
Earlier, I was impressed. I was like, Ghana invested, sign me up. Okay. Sign
No,
me up.
wait a minute.
Cause she
Don't
doing it
forget.
over here.
That girl is also in the DR. Like I got a whole catalog. I got her whole catalog. Don't you play. She in
Listen.
Tennessee. Like I got her whole catalog. When my friend was in Florida, my friend was living an RV life. She was everywhere. She was on every set. They trade roles. And when I tell you this yin yang, she
Yes.
and are Solomon, sorry, are the epitome of a yin yang. Like they literally just balance each other out.
Yeah. And that's what you need. That's what you want.
Very
That
much.
support. But I even told y'all before when we first got on, I love y'all relationship. I love the
Thank you.
dynamic, and I'm loving. I'm enjoying. I'm looking forward to seeing the growth more into what
Yeah.
I'm going to do on this platform, and see more people come on, and y'all just keep embracing and keep growing, because that's what you want.
Yes.
Like you want to
Yes.
encourage your friends, and it's really just
But
speaking
it's
your
your
truth,
work.
speaking
It's
your
your
truth.
work that helps. It's your work that allows us to be the branches that we are.
Speak your truth, speak your truth, embrace who you are, embrace the woman that you're becoming, because there
Yes.
is no one else like you out here. And so,
Yes.
therefore, shine your light bright. You
Write
We
your
know,
own
all gonna
book.
shine together.
Don't don't write a book that's already been written. Write your
there
own
you
book.
go.
Yes,
You
yes.
know,
Like, you know
and
what
I
I'm saying?
mean,
What's that quote? I think I said it on the last post. We were not created to do something that's already been done.
yep,
Absolutely not.
no,
None
no,
of us were
no.
created. We're all
Why?
created to do our own thing.
Why? So that person can say, been there, done that.
Right, right.
And then and then all your hard work is like, wait, somebody already did this?
That-
Yeah.
Yep, yep.
exactly.
My main
Mm-hmm.
Yes, I
motivation
love.
I have,
Shalita said, "I claim that for me too." Yes,
yeah,
Shalita, like,
Absolutely.
yes, I'm claiming that for me too. This is for the whole
the whole
sisterhood, y'all.
collective. On
I'm
my
telling
mirror,
you.
I keep my quotes that changed my life, and I keep them even like on my phone. Learn to accept rejection because
Mm,
there's growth in
Yes.
that. Don't ever beg for no
mm.
space, and never chase. You know, you don't have to chase. You are a magnet
No.
to come to you. Definitely
Boo.
know your worth.
Now. That.
Know your
That.
worth
Whew, I love that.
and
I
choose
love that.
yourself.
It's hitting,
Because
y'all. It's hitting.
listen,
Choose
who
yourself.
who did I tell this to? That I was like somebody. I think I told this to Kaya that she has Kaya has a magnetic vibe.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
But then, and like, granted, I don't know Kaya in that serious or deep of a space. I do know my friend in that space,
Hmm.
and just her vibe alone, I was like, my friend is living a glorious life. My friend has inspired me to have faith. And so
Yeah.
in the moment where I was just like, you know what, something is about to change in these next couple of months, I was like, you know what, I'm gonna just accept it.
And you
I'm
feel
not gonna
it.
stress about it. And when I do see myself stressing, I'm gonna just talk to the Most High.
Come on now.
And
There
I
you go.
did that. And when I tell you, without a job, where was we at in Charleston? And I ain't had no job. I
Having
was
the
spending
best time.
money with no
Honey,
job. You
living your
understand?
best life. You
Yes.
deserve it though. You deserve it. Like
Yes.
you deserve
But
it.
it's because of people like you, Tawana, as
Yeah.
well. You are a vessel for this type of growth. You are a vessel for this type of breakthrough. You are a vessel for this type of light. So again, back to shine bright like a diamond.
Mhm.
Like this, that's just what it is.
Yep. Hmm.
That's the cherry
Yes,
blossom.
sir. Yeah, yes, sir.
That's the cherry blossom effect right
Yeah,
there.
the cherry blossom effect. That's what it is.
Yes.
Yo, the title of this was on point.
No, believe
Wow.
me, I'm so grateful that y'all have brought me onto this platform. I'm grateful that you guys have even started this movement because that's what it is. It's a movement. And it's
Mm.
gonna keep growing
I
and it's
Yeah.
love
gonna
that.
get bigger, bigger. Like keep going because it's a whole movement and we need that. Just like you saying that I'm needed, you guys are needed. Just the space
Yeah.
that you're creating for people to speak, you wanting to speak and share your story, people need,
Yeah.
Yeah.
because it is inspirational. Yeah.
No, honey, put we are a movement.
Okay, we hold on. We are a movement.
KRE is a movement.
Correct me, Hunty. Oh my gosh,
Yes.
y'all. So real quick, look, we could be on here all night. Tawana, I want you, I know you already said some great goodness. I
Very
want
much
you to close
valuable.
us out with a good, I don't know. I don't know what to call it, but what do you want to say to the people before we get off of here?
I made a note. This is one of the things I said that I want people to understand how to start your journey. When you start your journey, first thing I would love for you to do is get curious about your triggers. Know what
Mm,
your triggers are because that creates awareness. Then identify your patterns, not other people's patterns. Identify your patterns, how you show up. And then name your shadows. Like we talked about the shadow work, name your shadows and be okay with your shadows. And then
Mm.
practice self compassion every single day. and speak truth to yourself every single day in that mirror. And you're
Wow.
good. You're starting your journey. You are on your
I'm
way.
gonna need some help with naming them shadows because I'm a little like no, I mean just full on. Like I'm like, okay, when we say shadows, is this like our dark spaces?
Yeah,
Like
it's
what
like
takes us there?
it could be
I've never heard shadow
little
work. I've
your
never
little
heard shadow
toxic,
Me
work.
neither. This is my first time hearing about it too,
you
Tila.
know, the
Hmm.
little bit of your toxic traits, like your shadow work is understanding like, do you have codependency? You know, are you codependent? Like you pointed out with your baby,
Ooh.
the anxiety, you know, how does
Hmm.
your anxiety show up and who does your anxiety show up when you're around? Because that goes
Mm.
back to like that attachment that I told you about. Certain people can
Oh,
make
well, I
you feel
released one of
anxious.
those already. So thank you,
Certain
Lord.
people can
I'm
make
it.
you feel avoidant and you'd be like, oh.
Yeah.
And some people can make you feel very secure. Like Donzie said, her husband, he makes you feel secure. And that's what you want in that type of intimate relationship with your partner. You want that intimacy. And then that shadow part is learning to love the unlovable parts of yourself.
But why
Mm.
they gotta be unlovable?
I just named it unlovable. It don't have to be
Okay.
unlovable, you know,
Okay.
but just
Because it's a part of me and I
mhm,
want to love every part of me. I
every
don't want
part.
to even the bad like with the you
Mhm,
take the good with the bad, right?
right.
Um and so I acknowledge the bad, but from the bad I grew a flower. So like who is it? Tiana Taylor, A Rose in the
Yeah,
Concrete?
baby, that's what it is.
Yes.
That's it. You're just a rose, and some of those shadow parts, those just your little thorns. That's it.
Hmm. Ooh,
I think
come
some of them
through
thorns need to stay
now.
though because it'll keep people from
It,
getting too
it
close
keeps
to you.
people
Protection.
from wanting
That's
to pluck that flower.
protection.
Okay,
Look
it
at
keeps you
look
from
at
wanting to pluck that.
us.
So I
Okay,
mean,
philosophers.
and
Look,
see, and I
Okay.
take that
if
into
we
my
keep her, if we
art.
keep Tawana on any longer, we got to pay her. Now, see, this is a whole career now.
Yes.
See, and I take those lessons into the garden. You know, as they call me, Jody's mama. I take those lessons into the garden.
Girl, you got a chair and table out there.
Yes,
You ain't
yes.
got a pack of cigarettes, do you?
Mm-mm. No, but I gotta
That
say,
would be icing on the cake.
my garden child, and I love to sit out there with my little glass of wine and just
Yes.
enjoy the fruits of my labor. And that's also taught me patience and learning what growth can truly look like. You know,
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. That's
Oh,
so awesome. This tonight
Taylor.
was fulfilling.
Yes, it was.
It was fulfilling.
So
There was
fulfilling.
there was I was schooled today.
I was like this, like trying to keep up
I
with the
learned a
notes and
lot from
the
y'all.
comments. Yo, this was
I
so
think
good.
it's
Like I
beautiful
was
when we learn from each other. You know.
Yeah.
yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, that's what it's all about, y'all. Oh my gosh. I do not want to hop off, but I gotta see my babies.
Y'all have to go
I gotta
because
go eat.
Tila got a
It's
pack.
bedtime.
Tila got a
Yes.
Huh?
pack. She got a pack.
Yeah.
I do got a pack.
And I got a pack. I leave for
Yeah,
Chicago.
yeah,
Tila about to leave for
right.
Orlando. No, really?
Yes.
Yeah.
Columbus, Ohio. We're gonna be right there together.
Oh, y'all not gonna
You
be
gonna
too
be
far
in,
from
you
each
gonna
other.
be in Illinois. I'm gonna be in Ohio, like the same
Oh,
days.
Y'all
I
not too
was
close
gonna try
together.
to come see you, but I was like, I can't. Like I'm
Lord,
gonna be.
I'm so glad, girl, because I'd have fell out in that daggone state
You
auditorium
wanna
in
fill
there.
out? You
Tila,
wanna
girl,
fill
don't do
out?
that to me. Please always let me know if you
You
go. No, I can't. My nerves.
why?
Tila, let me tell
Why?
You gonna
listen.
start
Don't do
crying,
that.
get
Girl, I would be
emotional.
no good. I wouldn't be able to focus on my speech. I'd be
It's
sick.
okay, cause guess who gonna talk you through it? Me. You got
Exactly.
this.
You got the support. And that's what you
Yeah.
need. And don't
If you
forget to
and if
share
you catch
that
me,
moment.
if you
We
catch
want
me
to
with the
all
head
be
down,
present for that
if,
moment for
if you
you
catch me
and
with the
celebrate
head
that
down,
with
just tell them I'm
Yeah.
praying.
Yes.
Yeah, I might be taking a nap, but just tell them I'm.
Be napping,
But
y'all.
right.
I
But
done
yeah,
Tawana
just
napping. Yes, we're gonna
yes,
celebrate all of our good moments together, y'all. This is beautiful. This
absolutely.
is
Thank you
sisterhood.
guys. Thank
Y'all,
you guys.
thank you everybody who hopped on tonight. This was absolutely beautiful. This
This
was
was
amazing.
phenomenal.
Yeah, this was a whole vibe, y'all. This
I
was
Very
love
so
much.
fun, y'all.
I
Man,
thank y'all enough for so much. And I'm glad everyone who was able to join in. I hope you are able to take something from this and just apply it
Beautiful.
to your
This was
everyday life.
phenomenal.
Yeah.
yes. So we're gonna wrap up the Blossom Effect with the beautiful
Love you too,
Tawana
Shalita.
Cherry. Yeah, Shalita, Coco, Idea. We love all y'all. Shamika, is her last name still Wallace, y'all?
Wallace Boswell.
I don't want to say it wrong. Okay. Yes, Boo. Thank you for hopping on. We had quite a few people on IG. But yeah, we love y'all, Tawana. We love you. Thank you so much, girl, for blessing us with your presence. We do not take this lightly. All these wisdom nuggets, this education that you've went to school to earn, that you've shared with us tonight, that you people pay for, we just got for
Okay.
free. Come
We
on now.
did.
So thank you so much. We're gonna hop over here, y'all. K.R.E. We love y'all. Until the
I feel
next
like I
time.
need to be doing the kid and play right now.
Right.
Right.
Look at y'all.
Activate head
We
bounce
still vibing.
Mhm.
Still vibing. I'm gonna hang up first because we still vibing.
something.
All right, y'all. I'm out. Peace. We love
Bye.
y'all.
Good night, y'all. Thank you so much.